Hey guys, it's Core Ross and welcome to the 6 News Roundup. Today we're rounding up all the news around the reveal of Brutal Swarm, the new season for Rainbow Six Siege. And tomorrow the patch notes should be out for the new season, so I'll be covering that on the Core Ross channel. But on this channel, we're going to go over what we know so far. So let's begin with the things that were not announced at the reveal but we know about, as I've had early access to the new season, so I can tell you a lot of the balance and changes. So first of all, Capital and Buck are getting the gun 6, Maverick is losing his frag grenades, getting flashbangs, Glaz is gaining a claymore, so he's not losing anything, he's just gaining the additional option of a claymore. Fuse is gaining the additional option of a smoke grenade, and Finka is losing her frags, gaining smokes, and Yana is losing the gun 6 and she's getting nothing in return. And then we've also got a brand new EMP Impact Grenade, which is going to be on Blackbeard, Dokkaebi, Gridlock, Lion, Nuke, Osa, and Sledge. And I've got a dedicated video already out going over that. And in the description below, there'll be links to different stuff, dedicated videos for different subjects if there's something you're specifically wanting more information on. But in this video, we're just wrapping it all up in a nice quick video. So let's move on to the next thing, which is the rank charms for Brutal Storm. This is what they look like, and of course they are bug themed, just like the new operator Grim. And you'll notice that Stadium 2021 is being added in to ranked. It's also coming into other playlists as well. So that is the kind of filler map that they're throwing in this season, just to plump out the overall content, which I'm not complaining about because I absolutely love this map, so I'm looking forward to playing this in ranked and should be a lot of fun. And talking of ranked, we are going to be getting a change to the map ban system. So right now in ranked, it comes up with 3 maps and each team can ban a map, and of course whatever is left is the one you play. Now it's going to be a selection of 5 maps, with each team of course being able to ban only 1, so there'll be 3 that will be randomly picked from all the time. That means there should be a bit more variety, but at this point, is there any real reason to actually have a map ban system? Because this is pretty much the same as just randomly getting selected a map whenever you join a ranked game, which would of course be faster. And then let's move on to the stuff from the actual presentation. So first of all, Brutal Storm will be coming on the test server August 22nd, so that's Monday, and it'll be going live September 6th. So they've actually given a firm date 2 weeks after the test server. Will they be able to do it this time? This is the 3rd time they have attempted a 2-week test server. Last 2 times it failed and they went for an extra week. So we'll see if they're actually able to do it this time. But if all goes well, the season is going to launch September 6th. But you don't have to wait that long to get your hands on the Castle Elite. That'll be launched on the live servers August 22nd, and it's called Point Blank Justice. And moving on from that, we've got the brand new operator Grim, who is fully revealed and is a kick-ass operator. I've actually made a video on the Core Rush channel basically saying that he's more fun than playing Ashe, even at Ashe's peak. And we'll see if that ends up being totally wrong in the future. But I think that Grim right now seems to be incredibly good and fun. We got confirmation as well of the Nighthaven squad. So it's Kali, IQ, Ace, Osa, Finka, our new operator Grim, Smoke, Pulse, Ella, Wamai, and Aruni. And I'm sure the Battle Pass is going to be Nighthaven based for this season, with hopefully the next Rainbow squad coming up next season. We're also getting a small update to the shooting range as well. You'll now have infinite ammo. You don't have to go across to a box and press the box to get ammo. Everything has infinite ammo now, which results in a very cool little thing. You can actually reload the Gun 6, which you couldn't do previously in game. So it's kind of cool to see that. And they've also tweaked the interface and some of the targets as well. So for instance, the dummy now reacts to getting hit, and you can spin the dummy round, which is very handy for testing different things. And there's also a radio now on the map which you can press, and it'll give you some lo-fi kind of background music to chill out to in the shooting range, which is again quite a nice little addition. But no additional lanes have opened up yet with any other different targets. Hopefully that will be the next thing, but good to see them developing the shooting range. I honestly thought they'd do nothing with it for like more than a year. There's also a tiny update to the replay system which allows you to report players, exactly the same as doing it in the game you were in. So you go to the scoreboard and you report a player. I don't think it sends over any additional information or anything like that. I think it's just basically the same as reporting in a normal game. But obviously in the replay you might notice that that person was definitely cheating where you didn't notice it during the actual gameplay. And now the big one, Recoil changes. So there is a huge change coming to Recoil for PC only. Console will not have any changes this season whatsoever, at least not at the start of the season. So what is going on is there's an entire rework of the recoil system, which basically means that some guns will get worse, some actually get significantly better, and there's going to be you're going to have to jump into the test server to try this new PC recoil out on all your favorite weapons. You might find that some of them are better, some of them are worse, and the idea is that if you're holding down the button, the worse the recoil gets significantly. And if you're doing more burst fire, you're going to be much better off. So it's not a bad thing, but definitely you're going to have to jump in and try it out yourself and see what you think. However, the console recoil has now been entirely disconnected from the PC. So what is normal is you plug in a controller, you play with a controller, you get 50% reduction in recoil compared to mouse and keyboard. Of course, if you're using an adapter that makes your mouse and keyboard look like a controller to your console, then you get that reduced recoil as well. And obviously you can use a mouse and keyboard, and that's why it's cheating. And now the controller recoil is going to be balanced separately. So first of all, this is good and bad. So my big problems with this is that means there's going to be a huge amount of stuff to manage. You're going to have to manage all the mouse and keyboard recoil with all the weapons, because there's a lot of weapons. Then you're going to have to do it again with the controller one. And I'm worried that the controller and console players will be left behind, which is going to happen at the start of this season, because the LMG meta is being fixed on PC with this new recoil, but controller is not. So that kind of meta will continue, and we're going to get this disconnect now where there's going to be a type of gameplay on the PC that is different from a type of gameplay on the console. So it's going to be significantly kind of interesting to actually see how this plays out, and if they can manage it good enough that console doesn't get left behind. So we'll see how long it takes them to potentially bring us in new recoil for the console, which might be more of just small tuning rather than having to redo the whole lot. But definitely right now, a little bit concerned. And now let's move on to attachments, because they are being entirely reworked as well. So you're going to see a lot more attachments on different weapons that previously were not there. The best change for me is that silencers will now not have a damage reduction for putting them on, which makes them far better than they previously were. So that is incredibly good, and looking forward to that. But also all the other attachments should have a more significant impact on gameplay when you actually put them on your weapon, and we'll see how this all plays out. Again, because the entire recoil changes and all the attachments are changing and how they all affect the weapons and everything is changing, testing this all is going to be a long process, and I ain't going to do that because I don't play with mouse and keyboard, I play with controller. So it's going to be just interesting to see how the actual player base digests all this, and if it ends up being something that everyone enjoys or people hate, or if it's a mix. You're also going to find more optic changes as well. So a lot of operators are getting the 1.5x, and pretty much I would say most operators in attack are getting it as an option, and quite a lot of defenders that you wouldn't expect to get it are also getting it. Like right now, Goyu with the Vector is getting a 1.5, which is extremely powerful. But we're in the test server phase, so I want to say, just disclaimer, a lot of that stuff could get tweaked before we actually hit the live date for this season. And now let's talk about updates in the future that are coming about a month and a half away from now with the mid-season patch. So first of all, the Rook self-revive is coming. It's coming for the mid-season, and that means anyone wearing Rook armor is able to self-revive from the injured state. That is coming for the mid-season. And we're also getting an update to Dokubi, where she's going to be able to call the dead players. So if you're on cams and she uses her ability, you will not be able to see for the full duration of her ability, because of course you're dead, you don't have a phone to switch off. But both those updates are coming for the mid-season, so that was just a little tease into the future. It was interesting in the actual presentation, they talked about how this was coming right away. Then the actual text afterwards says mid-season, so I think it was recorded earlier and maybe they changed their plans running up to it and they couldn't get the audio changed. So it is hitting mid-season. I did confirm that with Ubisoft for both of these. While playing, you'll also notice some HUD upgrades. So first of all, when you find bomb A, you will also find bomb B, and this will also show up in the map for the spawns. It's just making it a lot clearer, and I seriously loved it. It definitely is a nice quality of life update, and although it's minor, I think it looks really, really good. And then we've got some Battle Pass improvements. So if you buy the Battle Pass, you will now get a discount in the store while that Battle Pass is ongoing. And just like the old season passes, that is going to be a 10% discount. And if you already have the year pass, you'll be getting that 10% discount throughout the rest of the year. And that's on items you can buy with R6 credits and Renowned. So quite literally, if you're planning to buy the Battle Pass, don't buy anything else. The Castle Elite is just about to come out. Don't buy that. Buy it once you have the new Battle Pass in the new season, because it'll be 10% cheaper. You're also now going to be able to buy your friends Battle Passes if you want. This is something that's actually been brought in this season. It's live right now on PC, and you can buy your buddy a Battle Pass. He's got to be friends with you for 90 days. This is, of course, to make sure there's no fraud going on, but yeah, decent enough update. And this is PC only. However, in the future, with cross progression coming to Siege, you'll be able to buy your buddy a PC Battle Pass, but of course that will show up on their Xbox account or their PlayStation account. So that is going to be a future thing that will work on all platforms. But that's it, guys. That's all the official information and everything I was able to find in the early access build that I had, along with the patch notes, which will be out tomorrow. So I'll cover them in a Core Rush channel, which undoubtedly will reveal a whole bunch of other stuff too. And we'll take a look at anything else that pops up as well. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.